All right, this is Rob Hanneman, going to be walking you through our Unit 3 exercise, where we're going to be making checkerboard patterns in Excel using our for loops as well as if-then statements. All right, so we've been given the first step here, and I've already put it in, and that is to set a constant named NB cells as integer, and we've set that value to 10. All right, so no matter what we do, this will be a constant. We can't change it. NB cells, and that's going to be set to 10. We could just as easily set these numbers to 10, but if we were writing this as a program that we may have wanted to change, instead of having to go through all of our code to find all the instances where we had set it to 10, we can just change the number right here as NB cells, and it will affect everything. So we've set that to 10. Now we're going to start by adding a for loop to add black backgrounds to the cells in column A. So we're going to do that. A for loop. All right, we'll set this as R for rows. Set that initially to 1 for our row 1. So for R equals 1, and we're going to set the limit on this loop to NB cells. All right, so for R to 10, essentially, all right, we're going to set the cells R1 interior color RGB 0, 0, 0. Okay. Then over and finish that with a next. Right. So let's save that and see how we did here. Okay. So we'll go ahead and run that, and there we have it. One black row, or column, I should say. Right. Next. The next thing is we're going to make every other cell red with an if instruction based on whether they're even or odd. All right, and here we have instructions for that, saying that if we divide R by 2, right, so the remainder of R divided by 2, that is 0, it's even. If it is not 0, then it's odd. So first thing we're going to do here is, from here we'll add an if statement. So if R mod 2 equals 0, then say cells R1 interior color. I had to look this one up because I tried using just the word red and it didn't work out for me for some reason. So I said RGB 200 0 0. Okay. Say thank you, compile error. I goofed up there. It should be a period. So if interior color, okay, so if that, set that to red. Okay. And down here, otherwise, so if it does not equal 0, then our original instruction of make it black will be right there. So if it's even, color it red. If not, color it black. And end that with an end if statement. All right, our next still works for our for loop. Let's go ahead and save that. move it over and test it out. Play, and there we have it. Black, red. Okay. Next. Now create a loop that executes the loop we already have for 10 columns. All right, so we're going to want it to look like this. So in order to do that, we're going to need another for loop. So let's tab this over. So now instead of for columns, we're going to say for row, we're going to say C for columns. We'll do this the same way we did for our rows. 2 NB cells. Okay. Now, some minor tweaks here. Just tab these over just to keep everything together so that we don't get lost here. Right, so for column 1 to 10, we're going to say if R mod 2 is 0, then the next thing we're going to do here is we're going to use our C that we just created. So instead of R1, we're going to say R to C. And so this will repeat this loop. Right? But because we have another for loop, that one also needs a next. Right? So let's give this one a shot. Right now, for every time this goes, it will shift. And there we have our stripes. All right. Now, they've given us a nice little hint here. To achieve this result, all right, we're going to just change a minor thing here. So instead of if R mod 2, we're going to change that to if R plus C. So if R plus C. All right, and here's where, so if this will make it so that it alternates our thing. So if R plus C divided by 2 equals 0, then we're going to get a change, right? So if, let's take for instance, if 2 plus 2 divided by 0, or divided by 2, so 4 divided by 2 is 2, we'll have 0 remainder, so that's going to be red. But we take 3 plus 2 is 5. That's an odd number, so it's going to be black, right? Theoretically. So, now that we've done that, save our code here. Let's go ahead and make these C's lowercase. There we go, look at that. Did it for me. Let's give that a shot. And there we have it. So everything got changed. And now we have our checkerboard. Okay. Now the really tricky part here is to, all that's left to do, edit the code so that the checkerboard is created starting from the current selected cell rather than A1, so that we can get it anywhere we want it to go. Now, in order to do that, we're going to need to tweak this a little bit more. Okay, so under our constant, we're going to set some variables. All right, we do that with dim. Okay, so we want to offset our row. So I'm going to go ahead and call this O row as integer. And O column as integer as well. Then how are we going to do this? Okay, so we're going to offset by saying our O row is equal to the active cell that we have selected, the row minus 1. Okay. Then our O column equals active cells column minus 1. Okay. Do that. Now we'll go back into our nested loops here, right? So if R plus C mod 2, then cells. Now here's where we add our offset. O row to C plus O call. And do the same here. R plus O row C plus O call. All right. Okay, so what we've done is we've set, let's run through this loop real quick. So say we have, we're down here and this one was selected. All right, now for our loop here, we've set that R to 1, right? And our O row or offset is whatever active cell minus 1. So what we've done here, so 13 minus 1 is 12. So our first thing here is we're going to take this cell, R, so 1 plus O row, which in this case is 12. So that gives us cell 13 is our starting point. And the same for our column, where our column is 4. 4 minus 1 is 3. And C is originally set to 1. So 1 plus 3 equals 4. So that gives us our red cell right here up front. And again, just to show how this is working, we'll go ahead and select this one and run our loops exercise macros, run it, and there we have it. So 14 minus 1, 13 plus 1 gives us that initial setting. So that concludes our exercise. So until next week, thanks for your time.